accept the SD cards.
Okay.
Welcome. Welcome to the 2018-2019 MAT graduation. I'm Danielle Igra, and I'm the director of the Teacher Education Program. Every year I say that the folks who have supported our students through this really demanding year, the friends, the families, the loved ones, you deserve a certificate as well. Can we give these folks a round of applause? So, good for you. I'm going to say a few words about our program and about the research, but before I do, you all walked through a lobby full of really amazing artwork created by our incoming and outgoing elementary cohort. And the art that was created was supported and inspired and guided by a respected artist and their instructor, Saskia Van Vector. I'd like to invite her to help you think about what you are seeing as you move through the hallways.
Hello. So my name is Saskia Van Vector. I've been working with the Brandeis to lead a series of summer workshops on integration into classroom curriculum. I'm a working artist as well as an elementary art teacher. I've been working at the Advent School for 8 years. I've been teaching for about 10. I would like to invite you to view the work of both Brandeis incoming and graduating MAT cohort. This workshop was meant to look at ways art can be used as a language to enhance understanding, learning, and teaching. Visual literacy is an important part of any classroom culture. The art education classes are meant to immerse education students in the creative process. They have created art using different materials, written about their process, learned about a variety of techniques and ways of using art to make connections, to build classroom communities, and to create lesson plans which employ visual goals. At the end, each student created a piece that is both expressive of themselves and also related to their work in elementary education. For the incoming MAT students, the pieces were created to share something about who they are. It could include something they will bring into their life as an elementary teacher. For the outgoing MAT students, as they embark on teaching in their own classroom, they have designed a piece that will inspire creativity amongst their students and which symbolizes beliefs and actions they may take to build a classroom community. Each student wrote a brief paragraph describing their piece. And I would like to remind students to take their pieces at the reception. Thank you.
So as you walk through the lobby, I invite you to really enjoy those pieces. But you'll be walking through because in a few minutes, you'll be hearing from the graduates about the research. So I want to say a bit more about our goals for teacher research, which is an unusual feature of a teacher education program. It's a heavy lift for students who are already full-time graduate students and teaching in classrooms full-time. In the MAT, we ask our students to make connections between big macro ideas about education and small micro moments of teaching. Teacher research is one way that we do that. In an environment that prizes numbers, how much, how many, how high are the scores, one might ask, what can we learn by closely studying one student? But what's more important than seeing our students one by one? How much would we miss if we didn't see those students? And you might think, but there's so much research out there already. What can we learn by looking hard at our own teaching? But how could we teachers learn if we didn't? And teachers often wonder, what good does it do me to hear about everyone else's specific work in their specific classrooms? And I would ask, well then how then are you going to be able say, who else could possibly tell those stories? And how much would be lost in the numbers if we didn't tell them? So I invite you to immerse yourselves in these small stories in the hopes that you will be inspired to help make a big difference. The person who has shepherded the students through this deep and difficult work of teacher research is Dr. Danielle Igra. We've been fortunate to have Danae teaching all of us for 3 years, all while she was writing her dissertation and earning her doctorate. Sinead's research gives voice to marginalized people who might not otherwise be represented in educational research. For years, she has given our students voice. This is her say. She's leaving for Seattle to take an assistant professorship at the University of Washington, where she will continue to make change and make visible the experiences of others. We will miss her more than I can say. Yeah. We have some symbolic gifts for you, particularly you're headed to Seattle, an umbrella. And there's some Brandeis memories in here. Some coffee, ways to find her coffee in Seattle, because Lord knows that might be really different. So thank yous from all of us. Thank you so much, Shannon.
So good morning. Good morning to the faculty, family, friends, and incoming MAT students. This morning, we are delighted that you are here to witness and celebrate the hard work of our graduating cohort of MAT students. What they have accomplished over the past year is extremely impressive, and we are so proud of them. They have full load of classes while serving as student teachers part-time in the fall and full-time in the spring. And as if their lives weren't already complicated and insanely busy, we made them do teacher research. So what is teacher research? Cochran, Smith, and Lido conceptualized teacher research as systematic, intentional inquiry by practitioners about aspects of their practice made public and open to the critique and questions of others. This morning, our brave MAT students will be making their research public to all of you and open to your questions. Like traditional research, teacher research is something that is formal and planned. It is something that teachers officially decide to do. It is also systematic and involves a plan, and a process that begins with formally choosing, stating, and naming their research question, followed by coming up with a plan, implementing that plan, doing some initial data analysis, then making adjustments to their practice, doing some more data analysis, and then finally sharing their research, making it public, and then beginning the cycle all over again. In teacher research, teachers are seen as experts and knowledge generators. Dana and Yando Hoppy, the authors of our first textbook, noted that by participating in teacher inquiry, the teacher develops a sense of ownership in the knowledge constructed, and this sense of ownership heavily contributes to the possibility for real change to take place in their classrooms. And the last thing I will say about teacher research or inquiry is that it is not intended to be a project or something solely done as a course requirement, but it's a stance. In teacher research, we see inquiry as stance, meaning that it is a worldview that involves continuous reflection on practice, problematizing policies and practices that disenfranchise students, raising questions about what and how to teach, for whom and what purposes, with the goal of improving and transforming teaching, learning, and schooling. So, it is our hope that our graduating MAT students will adopt an inquiry as stance and continue doing research throughout their professional careers. So now, without further delay, we would like to begin our first round of research presentations. We ask that you please take the time to refer to the program to decide which presentations you would like to attend. And out of respect for all the presenters in the room, what we're asking you to do is to pick one room for this first round, stay in that room for the entire time, then we'll have a short break, and then you'll decide the next room you would like to be in. But again, out of respect, let's make sure we remain in the rooms for all three research presentations. So the presentations will be taking place outside these doors here. If you make a left and go around the corner, you should see the room numbers for each of the research presentations. So again, thank you for being here. We hope that you enjoy the presentation.